Foreclosures rise by 19%. Dallas, Fort Worth, you just increased by over 19% of foreclosures month over month, year over year. And one of the big things right now is that in spite of the numbers looking like foreclosures are going through the roof, 19% of almost nothing is still very little in comparison to where foreclosure rates have been in prior years, especially when we look back at historical numbers of 2008. Foreclosures rising, fix and flippers, investors, and end users pay attention to the small, marginal amount of numbers that are slightly increasing in the foreclosure world. It looks like they're going up substantially because the 19% mark seems like a big number in comparison to where we were, but in reality, when we had such a small foreclosure rate, foreclosures are still very nominal. Now, let me give you guys the states for investing in right now that have the highest foreclosure rates, where you guys can go in and take advantage of where we are economically in the residential housing market. Now, starting from number 15, going down to number 1, these, ladies and gentlemen, are the top 15 states where foreclosures are at the highest today. Starting with number 15, my hometown, New Mexico, is number 15. Coming in 14th place is New Jersey. 13th is Georgia. Number 12 is Maryland. 11 is Florida. Number 10 is good old Alabama, the state of Nick Saban. And number 9, Indiana. Number 8, Illinois. Number 7, Arkansas. Number 6, Oklahoma. Number 5, South Carolina. Number 4, Delaware. Number 3 is West Virginia. Number 2 is Louisiana. And number 1 is Mississippi. So as high as Dallas is right now, believe it or not, they're still not even in the top 15 states. Texas being one of the most complementary states to buy real estate in because of the low rent rates and because of the inexpensive mortgage rates and resale prices of homes. With economics being strong in Texas, it's still a desirable place to live. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the next several months, we're going to start seeing foreclosures go to a highest, because we're at right now at what we call the top end of a bell curve. And when you get to the top end of a bell curve in real estate, especially right now where we sit, because when the market is continually going up and interest rates are continually going up, one of the big things that we look for is we look for people that are still wanting to buy in spite of what's happening, because there's a need to buy, not a have to. And when there's a need to buy, people will continue to buy, and they'll sit back and they'll compromise finances slightly, going, you know what, I have to buy this home because I'm in a need for it. Now we're sitting on this plateau. The Fed's introduced that interest rates are going to stop going up and they're going to start to come on a decline. And when that happens, people sit back in a stagnant state. Investors, your homes are going to sit for the next 3 months. We're going to have homes that sit 90 days on the market on average over the next few months, and this is going to stay consistent until interest rates actually go down. The US American people are now aware that Feds are going to start reducing rates. So instead of being so anxious and instead of being pressed into a house that they can't afford or a house that they don't want to afford because of the inclined rates of interest and the increased payments, they're going to sit stagnant for just a few months to let the market soften, interest rates come down, and save long term on mortgage rates. And so the residential housing industry is going to suffer for about the next 90 days. The question is, can you hang on for 90 days to sustain where you are, to increase your profits or your affordability over the course of time? And for some investors, that threshold of 90 days is just way too long. For some of these end users that are sitting back trying to refinance, that 90 days is just way too long. In fact, 76% of the US population is only 60 days away from financial ruin if their income changes by over $350 per month. And for those people that are stretching those mortgage rates right now, we're going to start seeing foreclosures go up. Now, don't get too excited, because it's not going to be a 2008, 2009 repeat. This is just going to be a little softening in the market. Strategic investors and end users can take advantage of it if they take a close look and pay attention to homes that are coming to the market today. One of the big things, I got a phone call this past week, and I spoke at a local event, and we had about 150 investors there, and one of them came to me and he said, Jerome, there's a foreclosed home in X, Y, and Z area. I want some help with it. Then the next day I get an email with a house that has a compromised foundation that went into foreclosure, and yet another one on the day after. Then I get an email from somebody in Phoenix, and I get a foreclosure property that has 7 different listings on the exact same neighborhood in a given area. And so in a matter of 2 days, we had a total of almost, what was it, 9, almost 10 properties that came to the market in just a very compressed amount of time. And it's continuing to happen. So you guys are going to start seeing more opportunity in the foreclosure market over the next up and coming weeks. And so pay attention to your finances, pay attention to your investments. It's going to be a very small window in a very short period of time. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the opportunity to pick up with higher interest rates but lower prices in foreclosed markets, refinance later. And if you do the math between the cost comparison between what you save in reduced prices on foreclosures, short sales, or fire sale properties in comparison to what you're going to pay in excess of your monthly mortgage payments for increased interest rates, you'll realize that the cost savings of the compressed housing prices over the next few months because of the foreclosure rate is going to be a lot more substantial than what you're going to pay in interest. So don't worry about the high interest rates. Refinance in just a year, 2 years, or 3 years from now to be able to get your basis down, but take advantage of the compression in the housing industry, which is very marginal, very short-lived, and going to be very narrow for just a very short period of time. And ladies and gentlemen, when you pay attention to the market conditions as they sit today, you can compound your success, your returns, your revenues, and profit larger than you will as the market starts to incline, because the exact contrary is going to happen right now, where when things loosen up and mortgage rates go back down, just remember what 2001 and 2002 brought to us. We still have a housing shortage. There's still not enough builders in the market to fulfill this housing shortage. And over the next decade, those who pay attention, invest, and strategically go out and help solve this shortage of homes and rooftops across the U.S. American population are going to profit immensely. And that's right, you can take advantage of it. Click below to learn more about how you can take advantage, learn how to buy land, build houses, and profit from a well-needed industry that isn't going to be resolved over the next decade, and take advantage of the long-term upside of your financial gains through buying land, building houses. Click below, learn more, and I look forward to sharing with you guys more concepts and step-by-step processes of how to buy a piece of land and build houses. I'm going to recommend a 24 video sequence where we documented the process of buying land, building houses step by step. Right after this video, click and watch and learn how you can take advantage and profit in this market and generate potentially 6 figures on every single build. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this content, click below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and pound that thumbs up button. And I look forward to seeing you next time.